and welcome everybody. So this was kind of requested that I make another video about Tableau, specifically about the workshop that we had a few days ago. This workshop is all about how to build an interactive dashboard, and it was really popular. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make this video for those of you who either got stuck or just weren't able to make it. So first things first, I have Tableau open. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you have Tableau installed. But if you don't, I'll provide the link to download it below in the description. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So let me just close out of Tableau, minimize it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to download this data set. So go to this website, superdatascience.com/pages/Tableau. All right. Just pause the video and actually it'd be better if I just go ahead and provide a link in the description. So I'll just go ahead and do that. So okay, once you go to this website, you should have a page that looks like this. So specifically, you want to go down and download this over here, section 6, table calculations, and UK bank customer.csv. This is what you want to download. So go ahead, click on it. I already have this installed on my computer, so I'll just go ahead and open that up. So yeah, the file is called P1 UK Bank Customers.csv. So before we do anything on Tableau, I'm just going to go ahead and open this spreadsheet up, and we can just go ahead and take a look at it, analyze it a little bit. So as you can tell by the name, it's UK Bank Customers. Now, this is like a fiction. This is a So this is a fictional bank, or actually, hold on. Let me rephrase it better. So this spreadsheet has to do with like fictional customer data for like a fictional UK bank. So here's like the scenario, okay, for this workshop. This bank that's fairly new has asked us, we're the data analyst, and they're like, okay, we've gathered all this data. We want you to kind of like help us figure out like what decisions we need to make, what trends you notice, etc. Stuff that we can take advantage of, so that we can obviously expand our business, spread into further regions, that kind of stuff, etc. So, like I said, yeah, this is all information that pertains to bank customers for this UK based bank. So, for example, we have name, surname, which I think is like last name, gender, age, region, job classification, so if like they're like white collar, blue collar, or something else, etc. The date that they joined, and then their total balance. So if you guys just scroll down, you can see this is a really, really big data set. So I think it's like almost 4,000 total entries in here. So it's a lot of information. And as you can see, like just from looking at all this information, you can't really like derive any sort of insights or, analyze trends. So that's where data visualization comes in. Let's scroll to the top. So data visualization allows us to basically look at like a huge data set like this, and then basically analyze trends, and notice patterns. So it's really cool and it's very useful stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and X out of this. And now, next thing we want to do, we're gonna open up Tableau. All right, so once you open up Tableau, you're here in your data source page. So we want to connect that bank customer data to Tableau. So to do that, we're going to connect to a text file because that is a CSV file. So click on text file, and then look for your P1 UK Bank Customer.csv file. Go ahead, open that. And now Tableau's connected that same spreadsheet information, so everything that we just saw is all here and it's been copied over onto Tableau. So that's pretty much it now. Now we can just start making our visuals and go to the next step. So first thing we want to do now, so go over here where it says Sheet 1, click on that, and now we're here in our worksheet page. So I'm not going to like spend too much time like going over what this is, because that's kind of stuff I covered in the other video and the last workshop. So the first thing we want to really like do for this this spreadsheet is we want to create a map. And if you saw the previous video, the previous Tableau video that I made, you might remember that all we had to do in that um, workshop was we just simply dragged region into the middle of our worksheet and it would automatically generate a map. Today, as you can see, that's not happening. So there's actually something we have to kind of fix about this. So go ahead and Command Z or Control Z, undo that. And what we want to do is with region, click on this little down arrow, click it, then go down here to geographic role. And then from geographic role, go over here down to state/province, click on that. And I don't know if you notice, but that actually turns, we got this little globe icon now. And all that really does is just tells Tableau that this is a global geographic value now. So now once we drag it over here to the middle of the spreadsheet, it'll generate a map. Okay, so something similar should have just happened with you. So we have a map, and that's cool and all. But remember, we're focused on the UK because that's where the data from our spreadsheets from. It's a UK-based bank. So we should be focused somewhere over here, but we're not. So this actually leads us to our second problem. And to fix that, what we need to do is go down here where it says for unknown, click on that, and then click on edit locations. So it's probably pretty apparent what the issue is. As you can see, we have England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales. But look over here where it's saying country region. It's saying United States. Obviously, that's wrong. So you should just go ahead and fix that. So what we want to do, click that, and then click over here, and just type in United Kingdom. All right, perfect. And then just OK. And perfect. Now we're focused on the four main countries that was from our spreadsheet. So you had England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. All right, so let's go ahead and just fill this up too. These dots, obviously not really most visually appealing. So what we want to do now, click on this down arrow and just scroll down. Oh yeah, go down here and click on map. All right, cool. So now we have a filled map. But now, remember, we want to like focus on like each different region should have its own different color. So what we want to do, take region over here, click it, and drag it onto color. And now that gives each region its own unique color, so that way we can better distinguish it. And lastly, next thing we want to do is take number of records and drag it over here onto label. So now this tells us specifically from our spreadsheet like how many people are in Scotland, how many people are in England, how many people are in Wales, and how many people are in Northern Ireland. So that's really helpful. And a few more things we need to do for this part. So let's just format this stuff a little bit better. Let's see. So yeah, region, pretty sure it's this one here. Format. Nope. All right. So I think it's this one here where it says some number of text. Click this down arrow, click on format, and then make the text bold like that. Perfect. I click out of that, and then numbers. Actually, yeah, we don't need to worry about this part. Just make the text bold, and that should be almost it. Last thing we want to do for this section is we just want to like shrink this map. So if you go down to the bottom here, notice the little like double-sided arrows. Just click it and try to get it like halfway. This side and other side, like that. A little bit more. Perfect. And of course, from here we can zoom in if we have to, but I think that won't be necessary. So that should be good. So actually, one more thing, just go ahead and where it says sheet 1, rename this to map. All right, perfect. So we're done with this map area. Now let's go ahead and make a new worksheet. So to do that, click over here where it says new worksheet. And now we have a new blank workspace. So for this part, we want to focus on the genders of our bank customers. So I think the best way to do that is actually to like create a pie chart, simple visual that gets to the point. So for that, what we need to do is take gender over here in dimensions and just drag into the middle of our worksheet like that. Okay, now you should just get something like this. Now what we want to do is go down here to measures and click on number of records and then drag it over here where you see the black square, and you should get something like this. So over here it tells you specifically how many females there are and then specifically how many males. Now once we have this information, we can go ahead and just go ahead and make this into a pie chart. And it's really, really easy. So in order to do that, go over here in the top right hand where it says show me, click on that and look for the pie chart visual, which is right here. Just click it. And just like that, we have a Tableau automatically makes a pie chart. So now the next thing we want to do is make this bigger. So to do that, this part's going to be a little tricky. Try to hover over. Yeah. You should try to get these little black arrows find it and just drag it like that. Same thing with the other side. Click and drag. And then one more thing, to make it a little bit bigger, click over here where it says size, and then you can just drag it like this. But I recommend you do the first step where you just drag those arrows out. Okay, so cool. So we have a pretty nice looking pie chart visual, and you could change the color if you want to. I'll just keep it the same. Also like to drag these on this side. Now what we want to do is get the we don't want to hover over. We want to just see like specifically how many people there are without having to hover over. So to do that, take number of records and drag it over here onto label. And now what we want to do is convert these total numbers into percentages. So in order to do that, click on this little down arrow and go to quick table calculations. And then click over here where it says percent of total. All right. And that should give you this percentages. Now we want to do a little bit more formatting with this because obviously these exact decimal stuff we don't really need. So to do that, click on the down arrow again and then format. So first here the text, let's make that bold. And then for the numbers, go down here to percentages and make that 0 decimal places. And click out and perfect. So now it tells us a specific percentage. We don't have to hover over, so we can just see like, okay, for male it's 54%, female 46%. Awesome. And I believe that's it for this section. Let's go ahead and rename this worksheet to gender. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next worksheet. So for this section, what we want to focus on is the age of our customers. So before we do first thing we want to do before we create any sort of visual is we want to create a bin. And bin best way to describe a bin is that it's like a cluster, like a different it groups information. And I'll show you in a second what that looks like. So first let's go ahead and create our bin. So down here where it says age, go ahead and click this down arrow and go down over here to create and then create bins. All right, click on that. So we can just leave the name as is, but for the size of the bins, just make that 5. Okay, size of it should be 5. Go ahead, press OK, and perfect. And if you notice, now over here in the dimensions area, we have an age bin. So what we want to do is now take this age bin and just drag it over here into columns. All right, and as you can see now, the age groups are split up like for every 5 years, so 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. And next thing we're going to do, take number of records and drag it over here onto rows. And now just like that, Tableau automatically generates this bar chart, and it's for the different age groups. So you can see for the whole, like all 4 regions in the UK. So for the age groups, 15, there's 54 records, 182 for 20-year-old, but majority of people are in the 30s, up to 30 to 40. So, all right. Now, next step I wanted you guys to do is let's just go ahead and change the colors. So take mm, number of records, okay, and drag it over here onto color. Perfect. And you just drag this over here. You don't have to do this. This is my personal preference. I like to get everything on this side. So now once go to your container and click on the little down arrow and then click on edit colors. All right, so now once you're at this part, what you want to do is just click down here and look for green, blue, diverging. Yep, this one over here. Green, blue, diverging. Click it, press OK, and there we go. We have different colors that helps us like just differentiate the different age groups. Now, let me see what else we need to do. Oh yeah, so for these number of records, like I think it would be better if you get these as percentages for the totals. So to do that, go down here where it says some number of records on the top in rows. Click on the down arrow and click, not format actually, sorry, quick table calculations, and then percent of total. And now if you hover over, we have percentages now, not totals. So just like the last visual we made, let's format this stuff. So click on the down arrow one more time, format, and now what we want to do is, for consistency, let's make the text bold again. And for the numbers, go down here to percentages and make that 0 decimal places. And perfect. You can see there's no exact, like, it's exact, or not exact, but it's just more cleaner. No like annoying percentages or anything that specific. So we should be good now. What we're gonna do now is let's go ahead and hide this age bin. So just right click and then hide field labels for columns. And last thing we want to do is just shrink this visual. So let's go ahead, start from the bottom. Try to get it like up here and drag it a little bit like that. And that should be good. And let's rename this worksheet to age. All right, perfect. Now let's go on to our next worksheet. So for this one, what we specifically want to focus on is the balanced distribution of our customers. So how much money they have in the bank. Now, the cool thing is this part is going to be very similar to the last one we did. So first thing we're going to do is go down here to balance, and we're going to create a bin also. So click on this down arrow, click on create, and create bins, just like last time. Now, same name, balance bin, except this time, the size of it's going to be 10,000. So, yep, 10,000. No need for a comma or anything. And once you do that, press OK. And now we have a balance bin. So also like last time, let's go ahead and drag this over here up to columns. And then let's go ahead and drag number of records to rows. And now just like last time, we have a very beautiful bar chart. So also, just like last one, let's go ahead and adjust the colors. So take number of records, drag it to colors. All right. And then go ahead, click on this down arrow on the container here, edit colors, and same color, green, blue, diverging. Perfect. Press OK. And that's perfect. And as for those numbers here, we don't need to turn these into percentages. We can leave it as is. So now let's go ahead, hide this, and let's go ahead and shrink this. So I'm going to start from the bottom again. Okay. Yep. Perfect. By the way, if you're curious as to like why we have to shrink these visuals, it's because like at the end we want to fit all this stuff into a dashboard. So a dashboard basically is like a collection of it's like a collage of visuals. So we want to make sure that we can fit everything and not have to like everything just fits like in a dedicated space. You'll see very soon. So last thing now we want to do is just rename this to balance. Balance or balance distribution doesn't matter. Just keep it at balance for simplicity. Now we just need to make one last worksheet. So let's go ahead. And for this worksheet, we just want to analyze like the job classification. So we want to see like how many of the bank customers are like white collar, blue collar, etc., or none. So to do that, let's take job classification, drag it over here onto the middle of our worksheet. Okay, and now take number of records and just drag it over here where you see the black square. Okay, just go ahead, drop it. And just like like with the pie chart visual, it'll tell you specifically like how many people total are blue collar, how many people are non, how many people are white collar. Okay, and for this worksheet, we want to make a tree map. So go back here to show me, click that, and click over here in tree map. This is what it should look like. Click it, and just like that, we have a tree map, but I don't like these default colors. So let's go ahead and change those. Edit colors. And for this one, what color do I want to use? I think I'll do orange, blue, diverging. Okay, go ahead, press OK. All right, perfect. Now, last thing we just want to do is shrink this as well. So actually, like I usually do, I'll shrink from the bottom. And now from the side, a little bit more. Perfect. So this is what we want it to look like, ideally. And I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. Perfect. So I'm going to just go ahead, let's rename this to job classification. And okay, that's awesome. Okay, so we're done now with making worksheets. Now we're ready to go into the good stuff, which is the dashboard. So let me show you how to do that. As you can see, previously we've been making new worksheets. We don't want to do that. Next to the new worksheet tab is new dashboard. So go ahead and click on that. And now we have our dashboard view. So first off, if you go here, look over here where it says size. Let's go ahead and change that. So click on the down arrow, and where it says desktop browser, we make that generic desktop. This way it just gives us a little bit more room to work with, so it gets less messy. Okay, cool. And now let's go ahead and start making our dashboard. So over here, by the way, you can see on the side, these are all the worksheets that we made just right now. And also a little warning, this next part will get a little messy. So don't panic, don't freak out. Just do this slowly. Try to Try to place these visuals where I'm placing them. And also, it's not gonna look pretty right away. We'll have to do some cleaning up. So I'm gonna just stop talking. Go ahead and start dragging these in. So first, let's get the map and just drag it over here. All right. Now, we don't need these containers. So every time you do drag one of these worksheets in, it'll also drag in a container. So what we're gonna do is just click on this container, make sure it's like black like that, and then just press X, which is remove from dashboard. So go ahead and do that. Now let's go ahead and shrink this map a little bit so we have room for the other visuals. Okay. Next thing we want to do is get the age distribution about right about here. Okay, yeah, so like make sure like this other half, this right half is gray. And now just go ahead and drag it in there. And same thing as before, go ahead, just click on this container and just press X. We don't need that. And let's go ahead and shrink this. Oh, I guess it's not letting us. All right, no worries. We can now do this once we have everything in. Now, let's go ahead and drag gender and try to place it below our map. Perfect. Now, same thing as before. Let's delete these containers. Now let's get balance distribution. Place it next to gender. What should be good here? All right, perfect. And make sure to delete the containers. And lastly, what do I want to do? Oh yeah, let's get the job classification underneath age. Perfect. So, okay, like I said, it was gonna get a little messy, so don't worry. Let's go ahead and start cleaning everything up. So I'm gonna go ahead, make this map a little bit bigger, fill out these white spaces. Perfect. This is a good size for the age distribution. For job classification. So yeah, click on this down arrow. Once you click job classification, down arrow, fit, uh, entire view. So that just fills it up. Now for balance, let's get that make a little bigger. So we can just go ahead and drag it like that. A little bit more. A little bit more. Perfect. Gender, let's make that a little bit bigger. Actually not. I think this is perfect the way it is. And for the map, let's just go ahead, scroll down so we can see all the regions. All right, I think this looks like a really good dashboard. So now the last thing we want to do is just go ahead and make this interactive. And basically what that means is that like if you were to click on a specific region like Scotland, all the other data on this like dashboard will adjust and show us specific information just about Scotland. So as you can see, if we click on it, nothing happens. So to make this interactive, all we have to do is click on this down arrow, more options, and click this use as filter. Okay, it's pretty simple. Now, once we've done that, just go ahead and click on Scotland and let's start analyzing. All right. Oops. Okay, so now that we're focused only on Scotland, we can see like the age distribution. So it's a lot more older people. So from 40 to 55, like that age range is the highest. We have a lot more males than we do with females. We have a balanced distribution that's more like, yeah, it's not very high. Basically, say that from like lower to middle class, and this is reflected over here on the tree chart. It shows that majority of the people are blue collar. Like 496 are not, and then very little amount of people are actually white collar. So now as data analyst, it's our job to help this fictional bank kind of understand this data and these insights. And basically we would tell them something along the lines of like, okay, so for specifically in Scotland, we want to like create a specific marketing plan which is geared towards people that are like 40 or older, predominantly male, obviously blue collar workers with that make like this amount of money, etc. And yeah, like I said, just try to get more of these. This is the crowd that's joining your bank. Try to get more people from this specific demographic. Okay, and yeah, that's for Scotland. Let's go ahead, click out, and let's analyze England. So England, okay, we can see that it's almost roughly even with male and female ratio. And this time it's a little younger than Scotland. More people from 25 up till 40, but majority of them are in their 30s. So a little over 50%. Mostly white collar workers actually this time. And that's probably because England's like a very like a central economic hub of Europe. So that makes sense. Yeah, so majority white collar, balanced distribution. I'd say people are making a little bit more than Scotland. I'd have to kind of compare. But yeah, so in the case of England, we can say the specific market plan should be geared towards more white collar workers in their 30s, both male and females, and it should be simple enough. Let's see the other regions. Wales. Okay, so we know that 520 of our customers are from there, bank customers. So over here, it's also same thing, 25, yeah, 25 to 40, really. That's like the main demographics. I'm not gonna add these percentages, but you can if you want to. The balance distribution. So a lot of people that are like making less than 10,000 to 50, 60K. So that's the majority, 0 to 60K. Um, Slightly more females than males, and there's a lot of actually white collar workers here. Same thing. Create a marketing plan that's geared towards people in this specific age range, white collar, and you'd probably say, keep it, try to like get, a little bit more males if you want to, or just try, it's really up to the marketing department what they want to do with this information. But like I said, you've done the work of gathering and like visualizing their data and analyzing it. So next steps is up for them. And we have one more country, so why not just analyze that? Let's take a look at Northern Ireland. Okay, so Northern Ireland, first thing I notice is that it's overwhelming, yeah, majority, like 75% almost females. We have pretty low balances, but as you can see here, actually, we have more younger people. So 15, yeah, so more younger than the other regions. Maybe that's why it's not like saying, so there's, yeah, showing that's neither white collar or blue collar. So, yeah, if we were, like, we could just tell the bank, okay, so like, keep your, like, it seems like young females are primarily drawn to your bank. Keep reaching out to them, develop a stronger marketing plan to, get more of them to join. And yeah, that should be it for all I can analyze. And for your homework, actually, if you want to like go ahead play around with this dashboard, let me know in the comments like what other insights you can draw from this. And yeah, I would love to know. This is pretty. It's a pretty nice dashboard, I think. Of course, it's not like a perfect professional dashboard, but this really does, I think, like give you a good idea of what dashboards are used for and how they help businesses. So, with that being said, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I'm really glad that a lot of you wanted me to make another video of Tableau, so I hope you enjoy this one. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments or just let me know in the group chat. And with that being said, I'm done. Hope you guys learned a lot, and I'll see you guys in a future workshop. Bye.